Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. I genuinely don't know इसको बाई वीकली बोला जाए या वीकली बोला जाए. हम लोग बेसिकली बाय द वे मैं बता दूं अभी 11:30 बज रहा है. 11:30 पौने 12 बज रहे हैं. हम लोग अभी रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आई डोंट वांट द गेस्ट टू जॉइन. इट्स जस्ट कि हम लोग बहुत वेले हैं. ठीक है. So that's the only thing. और दिन में नहीं, रात में ही वेले. Anyways, welcome back to the podcast. और this is a Jeddah post race review basically. और बहुत कुछ हो गया जेडा में. Did not expect such an interesting thing even after knowing कि Red Bull basically they're just gonna be ahead. But Fernando Alonso, he came this close to winning and making me buy an Aston Martin t-shirt. So damn, that was so good. I enjoyed the race. क्या views है तुम्हारे? Let's just get into it straightforward. वाह, तीनों
So
कुछ नहीं बोले.
let
बोलो
so
cool, cool.
let me
एक
start
ही करे.
about this. Firstly, it was a privilege for me to watch the race live at the Jeddah corner circuit,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah.
was really an awesome feeling to hear that
अरे
sound. The cars were going just like 4 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was really an awesome view. We have no comparison कि cars क्या कितनी fast जाती है. तो fans who have not watched the race live at any given point of time, do watch it if you get an opportunity. Do not miss it for anything. And the more closer to you are to the circuit, the more fun you will have. Okay, so it is an awesome feeling. Do watch it. And it was an awesome race to begin with. Fernando taking the lead on the first lap, then losing it again. Max, what a drive from 15th to second, and stealing the fastest lap at the last lap, which was again awesome. Some controversial statements, some controversial faces at the end, and the Fernando fiasco of the penalty. It was तड़का बहुत मारा था FIA और F1 ने. Awesome, बहुत मजा आया रेस देख के. It was really very fantastic view. And just to add, the concert after the Jeddah race was even much more better. It was a really awesome for people who came here to watch the race live. It was really an awesome feeling to add.
एक मिनट, हम लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं रेस के बारे में. बट आज का एपिसोड इज जस्ट गोइंग टू बी ऑल ऑफ अस जस्ट आस्किंग एस जी कि कैसा एक्सपीरियंस है उधर. आई लिटरली
एग्जैक्टली
जस्ट इट जस्ट स्लिप्ड आउट ऑफ माई माइंड. हम लोग जब स्टार्ट किए ना, लाइक मेरे दिमाग में था कि हम लोग ये बात करेंगे बिकॉज आई डू वांट टू नो. आई हैव नॉट बिन टू अ रेस इन 10 years. आई हैव जस्ट बिन देयर वंस. लेकिन इट्स आई नो द फीलिंग. आई नो द फीलिंग ऑफ सीइंग द कार्स का. ये तो बहुत स्लो दिखती है ऑन टीवी. लाइक हाउ इज दिस सो फास्ट? तो आप किधर थे? वेयर वर यू ऑन द ट्रैक? लाइक वेयर वर यू सीटेड?
So I was around 12, turned 12, 13. Okay.
ओके, द
Um,
फास्ट सेक्शन.
yeah, just the
Yep.
beginning of the fast section.
Yep.
Okay. Coming out of turn 10, the hairpin, around 12, 13, I don't know the exact location, but I was near that near the giant wheel. Okay. Just उससे थोड़ा सा 2-3 corners दूर. And it is nowhere slow what it looks like in TV. Okay. This was my first opportunity. I've been following Formula One since '94, to be honest. Okay. And this was the first opportunity I got, which I grabbed with both hands. Okay. And it was really an awesome feeling. Last two times I came close for Mexico City and Indian GP in 2013, but unfortunately could not make it. But this time I made sure I will watch it. And it was really an awesome feeling. Cars are super damn fast. And they are so fast. Even in safety car, we see like they're crawling, they're going slow,
Yep, yep, yep.
like nothing like that.
We
You
forget
cannot
the
match it.
scale. Yep, we forget the scale कि वो बहुत दूर से कैमरा पैन कर रहे हैं. लाइक इट्स वेरी फार अवे एंड द स्ट्रेट्स आर वेरी लॉन्ग. इट्स नॉट लाइक कि वो स्ट्रेट जो 20 सेकंड में कवर कर रहे हैं वो आधा किलोमीटर नहीं. दे आर लाइक किलोमीटर्स लॉन्ग. लाइक
True.
it's a very different feeling, man. I know, I remember, the only vivid memory I have because मैं बहुत छोटा था is Vettel doing the donuts. And मैं उधर ही बैठा था,
Hmm.
like on the start finish line. I was there, a bit far of course, but man, the noise, it's the sound of the engine is pure beauty. And उस टाइम पे V8s, right? Sorry, हाँ, V8s.
Right.
तो it, yeah, I just wanna ask you, V6, are they like I know they are not loud enough like V8s or V10s, but are they still loud? Like, are they
They are
really loud?
loud. They are really loud.
Okay.
My,
So like,
they don't pain in your ears.
mm-hmm.
They don't pain your ears when they go by. Okay. But see, I have been watching Formula One for a long time. Okay. So they don't pain my ears. Okay. For
Same.
somebody who's going for the first time, they are definitely going to get goosebumps by that noise. For sure. 100%.
ब्रो लेकिन आई नो दैट फीलिंग आई मेरे को एसजे की शक्ल में दिख रहा है वो खुशी है ना जो कि यार मैंने देख लिया फाइनली मैं इतने सालों से एंड फॉर मी इट वाज ऑपोजिट क्योंकि मैं जस्ट स्टार्ट किया था ना लाइक ये क्या मेरे को नहीं समझ आ रहा बट स्टिल लाइक वॉचिंग द कार्स फ्लाई बाय इज नेवर गोइंग टू बी अ बैड फीलिंग इन एनी वंस लाइफ इट्स जस्ट सो
True.
गुड एनीवेज कमिंग बैक टू द रेस so my first impression of the race after the race got over was fuck Fernando lost his podium and then like 2 hours or 3 hours later it was I remember like 2 or 3 in the night 2 or 3 a.m. here India में and मैं just ऐसे scroll कर रहा हूँ Instagram before sleeping right and I see Fernando reinstated to P3 and I was so happy कि भाई हाँ डिजर्व्ड है बंदे ने पूरा 5 सेकंड पुल भी कर लिया था लेकिन फिर भी बेचारे 10 सेकंड तुम दे रहे हो एंड आई एंड प्रॉप्स टू एस्टन मार्टिन मैन लाइक दे पुल्ड अप एवरीथिंग द एफआई हैज डन इन व्हाट लास्ट 10 years कि किसको पेनल्टी मिला था किसको नहीं मिला था एंड या दे मेड देयर केस एंड या दे केम अप ऑन टॉप व्हाट आर योर थॉट्स ऑन रेड बुल एंड एस्टन मार्टिन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये जो बैटल चल रहा था
तो मैं जो बोल रहा था लास्ट सीजन ही सॉ व्हेन हास वाज इन पोल पोजीशन केविन मैग्नुसन ब्राजील में 2-3 लैप बाद ही हैड नथिंग टू डू देयर ही वाज लाइक ठीक है जाने देता हूँ मैं साइड से तो मेरे
यप यप
आई एम नॉट इन देयर रेस दैट वाज द सेम थिंग विद फर्नांडो व्हाट ही वाज ट्राइंग हिज हार्डेस्ट टू कीप अप विद पेरेस ताकि उसको डीआरएस मिलते रहे और बाकी पैक से वो आगे जाते रहे एंड ही न्यू दैट his only battle for winning the race comes when both of the Red Bulls DNF or some problem happens. So he played it very intelligently. Unfortunately, he got the penalty, but also Lance Stroll. I'm not saying that kuch malicious. Obviously, there's nothing like that. Lance Stroll is as important to as he's more important to Aston Martin than Fernando Alonso. So Lance Stroll, for some मतलब God's grace हो उसको कुछ हो गया and then Fernando could take his penalty in the I think virtual safety car and then yeah, great,
आई थिंक सेफ्टी
great
कर
for
था
him.
फुल दे हैड अ फुल सेफ्टी कार आई गेस
Yeah, full safety car. I was very confused about that. He was parked way out of the racing line.
हाँ
कहीं पे
I
गाड़ी
for a
आसपास भी नहीं थी.
moment exactly for a moment I okay there were so here's the thing okay there were a lot of times during the race when I thought कि Red Bull ने एफआई को खरीद लिया है because इतनी सारी चीज़ें they did in favor of Red Bull right like I genuinely मैं अकेला नहीं था I was watching with a lot of my friends and everybody was confused कि सेफ्टी कार का जरूरत था नहीं शुड हैव जस्ट पुल द कार आउट ऑफ द वे वर्चुअल सेफ्टी कार में काम हो जाता आई गेट सेफ्टी एंड ऑल एवरीबडी गेट्स दैट बट रन ऑफ एरिया बहुत था उधर यार आई डोंट थिंक समवन गोना डू सच अ डम मिस्टेक बीइंग एन F1 ड्राइवर ऑल्सो the 5 second penalty that Fernando might have gotten. Rumor is कि the Mercedes team snitched on Aston Martin, saying कि उनका जो what's that called? It's a jack, right? It was already in contact.
Yes, yes.
तो yeah, so it's just everything. The cards were getting stacked against Aston Martin and still coming back on top. It's props, man. Props to them. Just that's my point. Krishan, what do you think? Do you think your team snitched on Aston Martin?
See, Formula One is a very by the minute sport. Like it evolves from time to time. It's so competitive up there because there are literally 20 drivers and 10 teams that get to compete in that sport. So any chance of a podium or a big result for a team which has been so ruthlessly dominant in the last 8 years of the sport, like winning the constructors championship round and round, like continuously from 2014 to 2021. So they'll snip at everybody's heels to just get a good result because they didn't design a good car. And being a Mercedes fan, I'm myself saying it that they have really botched up the regulations this time, because there might be two things, like with James Allison gone, like there are
Mm-hmm.
many key personnels gone now. So they might be in some sort of trouble, but I know that they'll get it back. But I think that snitching on Aston Martin and just saying that वो jack सही नहीं था, like this was not on the right place. So this is in a way justified, because if it was Aston Martin in position of Mercedes, and if they were chasing Mercedes for the
Yeah.
podium, so they would have also done the same thing. This is a very competitive sport, and just on to touch upon your point, Harshit, like Red Bull ne FIA been bought by Red Bull and all. Like
That was just
you,
a joke,
we
by the
all
way. Let
know
me
that.
clear it out.
No, no, it was a joke. But we all know that since 2014 to 2021, this joke was circulating that Mercedes was mafia, like FIA and
नहीं
Mercedes
ब्रो, ये सब
collaboration.
क्लियर आउट करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि पढ़े हैं पब्लिक, फिर आके बोलेंगे
नहीं,
हमको कि भाई क्या.
नहीं, नहीं, वो बात भी सही है. वो बात भी सही है. No, I just wanted to clear that out कि
हम्म.
today the Mercedes fans are saying that Red Bull has bought FIA,
हम्म.
and it was one time that the whole Formula One fraternity or the whole fan base was saying that Mercedes is working with the FIA just to give Mercedes the edge and all. And to be very honest, they had the edge on the engine power, and it took the team so many years to just get it back, just to be
Yep.
on par with them. And now that Red Bull has the advantage with the so-called RBPTs, the Honda Power
Mm-hmm.
Unit, so they have that advantage locked until 2025, and they have Adrian Newey. So I don't think anybody is more capable than Adrian to just pull them through this 2025 till 2025 till the new engines come. But I do hope that Red Bull's engine plan doesn't come back to bite them, because we always know that an in-house manufactured engine can go wrong at so many places. So many places they have been successful dyno runs. They are getting a good start to the season, but I just hope that this momentum continues to build and we just sort of get a closer fight in between Red Bull, Ferrari, Aston, Mercedes, in the whole field in general.
But yeah, like the thing is with your own powertrains, you have advantages and disadvantages, right? Generally, in the terms of Formula One, seeing the history and how it's going exceptionally in this year, इस साल का तो मैं काउंट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, but the guys who have been building their own engines and been the suppliers in Formula One have been the front runners, right? इस साल I don't know, Mercedes is just worse than Aston Martin for some reason. Aston Martin do have Mercedes powertrains, but that's been the case, and it's easier to build an engine and build a car around it rather than buying it and then trying to build a car around it. You know the ins and
The,
outs.
the chassis integration is much more smoother when you know the
Exactly.
engine in
Yeah,
and
yeah,
out.
yeah. Yep,
And
yep.
just then, Aston being a customer team, and they've been using the Mercedes wind tunnels and their parts for so long right now that they have just grown accustomed to their parts, and they just know where to make that car work around the different aerodynamic bodywork. And to be fair, seeing the Aston Martin perform so well, it has eradicated all the doubts that the Mercedes engine is lacking on power.
Inferior. Yeah, yeah.
The suspension is not so good, because last year we saw that with Aston and Mercedes, they both were struggling with porpoising and all. So this year they've at least eliminated that suspension travel issue and the porpoising issue. And seeing this, I really hope that Mercedes just does change their aero bodywork, because that needs to be changed,
That
because
that
it
seems
doesn't.
like the problem, honestly. Like देखा जाए तो वही problem लग रही है.
Their
Um,
whole floor
yeah.
is exposed. The top floor is exposed, and the air is not getting good travel just to get on the diffuser.
इतना मैंने देखा नहीं गाड़ी को, क्योंकि वो लोग अलाउ करते नहीं है. एनीवेज द थिंग इज कि आई द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक दैट आई वांटेड टू लाइक लेट्स गेट टू द हॉट टॉपिक which is going to be probably the discussion of the year, because as we know, historically भी देखा जाए तो again कि when you're dominating the sport, the main competition you have is your teammate. That's the case this year. हम लोग ने पहले भी देखा है, Nico Rosberg, Hamilton. We've seen Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel scrap for it. And this year we have Max and Checo. Now last year the Checo was the wingman, clearly the wingman, because Max was in general faster. This year, I guess, like Checo is in his third year with Red Bull. I guess he knows the in and outs of the car better. He knows how to work with the people better, and that's why maybe he's just become faster over time. Now Max has reached a saturation point of being great. Okay, I'm not saying Max is not great. Max is up there. We've seen him pull 40 seconds off the field, right? Like the gaps we've seen are
Exactly.
insane. But when a driver is developing along with you, he's gonna be good too. And these are like 20 of the best drivers in the world, right? And we saw that
Exactly.
happening, right? The team, it was pretty clear the team was trying to control the damage between them. बहुत clearly दिख रहा था वो, like not telling Max ki fastest lap कितना है, telling Checo to go a bit slower. I don't think that was them telling Checo to go a bit slower. It's just ki, yeah, I think they just don't want conflict in the team because that's always bad. That's always been bad for the team, not for the drivers. It's pulled them down on the points table, and it's just not good. Yeah, that's my views on it. Over to you guys. Let's hear some controversial topic talks on it.
It can be
I
two
would
ways.
like,
Yeah,
हाँ
yeah,
बोल
go
लो
ahead.
बोल
I,
बोल लो बोल लो. कृषाणु बोलने नहीं देगा फिर इसीलिए.
sorry,
मैं
no
बोलूं.
comments on that. But definitely, what I would like to add is, yeah, the press statement from Checo was very clear about that. How he was asked to maintain a speed, and he was told that both the cars are maintaining the speed, but eventually Max got the fastest lap. Eventually, the team should win, but at the end of the day, every driver is there for himself. Everybody wants to win. Okay. That reminds me, the point which you mentioned, Helmut Marko during the pre-season testing, he said that previously the cars which were made were more made to suit Max's driving style.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
They have this time found a balance where it will also help Checo's driving style as well.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That is why Checo is up there. Okay. Because they have now made a car which suits both the drivers in a way. Okay. So yes, like you said, conflicts among the drivers, the teams, where there are two roosters in one car, it is always going to be a battle. It has been there historically. We all know what happened in the 80s with Senna and Prost, uh, then Coulthard and Hakkinen, although they were not that conflicting, but they were. Okay. Then it was Mercedes, then Red Bull. Again, now it is Red Bull, where two cars are fighting amongst themselves. So quite a bit of history among the teammates fighting amongst themselves. But still, yes, it's going to be fun. There's some going to be a topic of conversation among this, but we can just hope that they have so much clear dominance that it will not allow somebody else to take the chance to get the race win or even conflict them for the championship title. That is more important,
So I
and
hope
that is
that
where they should
that
focus to.
I hope that happens. I I don't want to see any other team running up like that because
Man,
and
it's just, yeah.
I
Yeah,
just want to
I get your
add
point.
some. I just want to add something what to what SJ said. Like this intra-team dynamic between Red Bull, we are seeing that the team is finding a more common balance, more workable balance for the two drivers. This might also come in as a response to what happened last year, like with the passing of Dietrich. We know that the whole sole owner of Red Bull just passed away last year during the USGP, and after that, everybody called into question the existence of the team, Formula One team itself. So there might be something at play here because there have been some kind of rumors because I've just read it from therace.com, and there have been some rumors that the new CEO of Red Bull, he's not so Formula One centric and he's not such a big fan of the team also. And
Mm-hmm.
Helmut Marko, he was there as a friend of Dietrich. So he just reported to him. He was not a subordinate to Horner. He was not a subordinate to the Red Bull board. He was a personal friend to Dietrich, and he was there just to oversee Alpha Tauri and the young drivers come in and the running of the drivers, just to make sure that there was a balance between them. And this year, Red Bull having this workable balance between the two drivers, and the rumors of that Marco might leave because there have been rumors for quite some time right now. But after Dietrich's death, like it has been elevated to a certain point that it might become a reality sooner than later. I can see the smile on SJ's face, but it might be true because there are some things that we cannot change, and secondly, with helmet gone, and Max getting this more equal teammate in Checo that we have been able to see since 2018, this might spark some very big intra-team rivalry between these two, because the Verstappen camp is not happy with Checo winning, and it is Checo who has always been the man to play the team game. And the team telling Checo to slow down might be of two reasons. One, because they want to preserve the engine, they want to take penalties at a much later part of the season, and it might be just to protect Max. Or maybe it's just that they want to play it safe and just bring home a 1-2. So there are many things at play right now, but this is my take on this. Over to
Yeah,
you, Jan.
man, it's just, bro. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, both immensely great drivers. It's just
Exactly.
Max lost my respect, let's say, during the Sao Paulo GP, because that
Exactly.
thing, that was just being an asshole, man. You literally had a chance to redeem yourself by helping Checo, right? This guy has helped you win a
The
championship
champion.
after so many years, and so many people who dreamed of it couldn't get. You won it by 1 point because the FIA and Red Bull helped you to, right?
On merit,
So
Mercedes was to win that race.
I just, man, that was controversial.
I agree.
Yeah, everybody agree, bro. Here's the thing: if you actually have seen a lot of breakdowns about that race, right? We're talking about the 2021 last race.
Correct.
They actually just let go of the rules and they just looked the other way, like हमने तो कुछ गलत नहीं
We
देखा.
just want to put up a
When,
show.
yeah, they wanted to put up a show, and I get it, but here's the thing: you're already on the rise with the viewers and the watchers with DTS. I don't get the
Exactly.
point of making a guy lose because of that. Like, it was so heartbreaking for so many people. Max would have won. Max इस साल जीता ही ना, वो भी लास्ट ईयर भी तो जीता ही, but Lewis Hamilton
Exactly.
winning, it's just sad. And I know there are a lot of people who oppose that thought, but that's my take on it, and a lot of people would agree with it. So, Ujan, what do you think?
It's not about. I personally feel before I go to
Hmm.
Jan, it is not about Lewis winning or Lewis losing or Max winning. If I see it from the neutral point of view, it was just about not following the rules of the safety car racing
Yeah,
or the lap cars not being allowed to unload themselves or whatever it is. Blatantly.
The sport itself made a
yeah.
joke.
He
Okay,
just
oh my God. Go ahead.
देखो एक एक करके मीटिंग में एक
he's
एक
like बस
पर्सन जो बोल
उसने
रहा है निकलते रहेगा.
SJ's
उतना
battery died.
his PC सेट तो इतना ही बोलेगा, बस अभी हो गया.
Oh my God. The
Oh
F1
man, that
gods
was
have
funny.
really
That was
shown on
so
SJ.
funny. हाँ मतलब like I know where he was heading. Basically, he was gonna say कि um I get it. Like, you wanted to put up a show, but there are certain rules in any sport, and if you are flouting them very what do you say, very blatantly, then you know that you have been sold to the money, right? You want to make money, and I get the point, but there are rules you need to follow, and SJ is back.
And SJ is back.
Yeah, let's go, SJ. Continue. Oh, he's still
He's just
connecting to the
connecting
audio.
to the audio.
Yeah, and by the way, ये सब कट होता है, फिर ये सब एंड में जाता है. That's what happens.
हाँ, the post credit scene.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I got disconnected.
Yeah, yeah. Your
The
PC
phone
साइड,
really
your
went there.
laptop साइड की fuck, अभी इसके आगे नहीं बोलना किसी के भी खिलाफ FIA के.
मैं बस एक चीज बोलूंगा. In AD21, this is the last thing I'm talking about AD21.
Okay.
कि that day F1 failed as a sport
एक सेकंड, कौन
collectively.
सा साल बोले?
AD21, Abu Dhabi 21,
अच्छा, ओ ओ
2021.
ओ मेरे को लगा
The
he's
short.
talking about 2021 AD, like मतलब
No,
हाँ,
no,
हमको
no, no,
समझ
no.
आता है.
अबू धाबी 2021 बहुत लंबा
अच्छा,
हो
okay,
जाता है
okay,
भाई.
cool. Yeah.
That day F1 collectively failed as a sport and it failed as fans. I'm not criticizing anyone. Kudos to Max, kudos to Red Bull because they took the call. They took the call to switch to softs. And as much as I wanted Lewis to win, I was rooting for him. On merit, on paper, Mercedes was dominating that race and it was their race to win. But that safety cars we cannot predict. The crashes we cannot predict. But to play around the rule books like that and just to make a mockery of your show, mockery of the sport, it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can't be
Yeah.
acceptable. That's where
It's
things
just
have been changed.
yeah, yeah. The point is कि bro, simple logically देखा जाए, तुमने बोला कि lapped cars may now overtake. Lapped cars means
Exactly.
every lapped car by any lapped car, right? That's the
तुम
logic.
ब्रैकेट में अलग
Yeah,
रेसर्स का नंबर नहीं दे सकते कि इधर से इधर
exactly.
तक लैप अनलैप करो, बाकी सब तुम भाड़ में जाओ। हाँ, डैनियल
हाँ,
रिकार्डो यू वर फाइटिंग आगे वाले लोग ना, हाँ नहीं अब तुम नहीं करोगे, तुम सबसे आगे हो लैप्ड कार्स में,
and
तुम
it's not
पीछे
like,
रहो।
and I get the point कि you wanted to make a show with one the top races, right? One and two, Verstappen and Hamilton. Here's the
No,
thing, man.
but to be
Not
fair,
unlapping the
no, but to be
cars. Yeah.
actually that the race director has that authority to allow certain lapped cars to unlap themselves. They
Is
have
that
that
ethical?
authority in the rule book. But to just send the message that they may now unlap themselves and the last car passing Hamilton and after that the safety car ending, that was the main point of conflict.
It was just, bro, logically देखा जाए तो मोंजा हमने लास्ट ईयर देखा ही कि they ended under a safety car. That should have been the case. Like एक लैप के लिए तुमने रेस इसलिए रखा ना because you wanted the showdown, right? And it's just it angered a lot of people, but a lot of Max fans were happy. But I've personally had a lot of friends who are Max fans, and they agreed too. कि हाँ, it was wrong, but fuck it, we
No, no,
just
I
got to win.
supported
That's the thing.
Max that season, that race.
Yeah.
And मैं झूठ बोलूंगा अगर मैं बोलूँ कि मैं खुश नहीं हुआ आउटकम से 2021 के, बट सही नहीं, जो हुआ गलत था, लेकिन उससे जो हुआ वो अच्छा था।
ये बाय द वे एज अ मैक्स फैन
Exactly.
जाएगा एज अ स्टेटमेंट,
एज अ
सिग्नेचर,
फैन ऑफ
डिजिटल सिग्नेचर भेज देना एक।
मैं अंडरडॉग फैन, ठीक है, लास्ट ईयर फेरारी, इस साल एस्टन मार्टिन, मैं अंडरडॉग
या
फैन।
सेम 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 सेम, मेरे को मजा आता है लाइक अंडरडॉग जब जीतते हैं ना, तो वो ऐसा एड्रेनलिन रश, वो सेरोटोनिन रश मस्त लगता है।
वो बस मैं देखते
एक
रहता हूँ, हास टॉप 10
या
में है क्या, हास टॉप 10 में है, विलियम्स टॉप 10 में, अच्छा हाँ फिर आज रात को
नहीं,
नींद
हास
अच्छा
तो
है।
मीम है, हास वी ऑल कंसिडर मीम, ठीक है, द मीम टीम।
Gunter is
आजकल तो फरारी भी मीम बन गया है भाई।
यार फरारी, इट्स आर दे मीम्स, आर दे जस्ट नॉट देयर फॉर बीइंग फरारी?
SG, don't let me talk about Ferrari right now.
मैक्लारेन, क्या बोलूँ यार मैं, लाइक a lot of people who actually got in, मतलब a lot of people my age who got into racing have seen McLaren win when they were young, right? Like मैं 7-8 साल का था, McLaren was on the top of the sport. The way they have fallen down, it's just so disgraceful, and just ऐसा अंदर से disgust वाला feeling आता है कि how can you do this to yourself? I mean, you had such a great team, you had such a big budget. It's not like they're not spending money again. Like I said कि McLaren बहुत money spend करता है, और ऐसा नहीं कि वो बाकी स्पोर्ट्स में सक्सेसफुल नहीं है, सिर्फ F1 नहीं, बहुत सारे स्पोर्ट्स में बहुत सक्सेसफुल रह चुके हैं, एंड जस्ट फॉलिंग ऑफ द मार्क सो बैड, इट्स, आई डोंट गेट दैट। आई नो ऊजन हैज थॉट्स अबाउट इट, सो या लेट्स हियर देम।
आई रिमेम्बर जब मैंने रेस देख रहा था लाइव, मैंने मैक्लारेन का रेस देखा, आई सॉ हाउ दे वर डूइंग इट, मैंने एसजे भाई को लिखा, एसजे भाई नेक्स्ट वाले पॉडकास्ट में मेरे को जरूर बुलाना, मैंने नोट्स लिए इसके लिए। एंड द थिंग आई
अच्छा अच्छा,
रिमेम्बर
ओह
इज,
शिट, देख रहे हो, हम लोग छोटा प्रोडक्शन नहीं है, ठीक है, हम लोग नोट्स वोट्स लेके काम कर रहे हैं, तो या
Exactly.
टॉकिंग अबाउट बीइंग अ बिग प्रोडक्शन, मैं वो वाला नोटबुक कॉलेज में भूल के आ गया, बट अब छोड़ो। तो बेसिकली व्हाट आई नोटिस्ड इज, एंड इट्स गोइंग टू बी वेरी फनी, वेरी डिप्रेसिंग, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स एट द सेम टाइम, विलियम्स and McLaren. Williams was faster on the straight than McLaren with DRS. And that's sad. That is so sad. Like down, मतलब basically Williams चल रहा है and पीछे ऑस्कर पियास्ट्री या लैंडो नॉरिस with DRS जा रहा है लोगन सार्जेंट के. It is the same speed, exact same speed with DRS, without DRS. कोई difference नहीं है.
मैन,
And like people were saying कि at least McLaren 8-9 तो आ जाएगा, Williams से नीचे तो नहीं जाएगा. That seems very impossible this year. And Now what they have done is, now when they were trying to make some progress, when they were, I won't say they're heading to a better direction. They are doing worse than Bahrain. But basically, when they're trying to make some progress, तभी उन्होंने अपने टीम के कोर मेंबर्स को हटा दिया पूरा रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग करने के लिए। लाइक फुटबॉल में भी होता है ऐसा, लाइक यू जस्ट डोंट, लाइक वंस यू गेट अ न्यू कोच इन योर टीम, तुम फॉर्मेशन चेंज नहीं कर देते, यू स्टिक विद द सेम फॉर्मेशन। एक दो प्लेयर चेंज करते हो, बिकॉज इफ यू कंप्लीटली रिस्ट्रक्चर, टीम का पूरा बेसिस खराब हो जाएगा। नोबडी नोज हाउ टू प्ले विद ईच अदर, नोबडी नोज हाउ टू डू दिस, नोबडी नोज हाउ टू डू दैट, एंड यू विल फेल। You will fail. There is no two ways about it. And McLaren, I think what they're doing is stupid. No better way of putting it.
Okay. Some
Just
harsh words to.
I just want to continue from what where John left. McLaren have been making wrong decisions starting 2015. Okay, starting the turbo era in 2014,
Mhm.
McLaren had two podiums in the first race.
GP2
Jenson
engine,
Button
yes.
second,
Yep.
Jenson Button second, and Kevin Magnussen as third, P3. Okay. Uh, then the entire season they did not have anything because Mercedes was very strong, and somewhere McLaren fall down the race. They have started making wrong decisions since then. They got into Honda, tried couple of seasons. Then they got into Renault, tried few seasons. Then again now they have gone back to Mercedes. Then they had a good driver, Daniel Ricciardo. They let him go. Why? Because they thought their race is not doing well. But eventually it was not a car good enough for Daniel Ricciardo. Okay, they made their car around Lando Norris, thinking that oh he's a good driver, he's a great driver, he's the future. Lando Norris may be quick, he has speed, everything accepted, but at the end of the day, what matters is you getting the points, you finishing on podium. That will happen with both the drivers scoring consistently, getting in consistently. That
And
consistency
Lando,
is missing. And now they are kind of developing the car in a reverse manner, to be very honest. They are coming from here, now here. So it's very bad, very bad.
McLaren Formula
now I
2
would
team
like to
coming up
add
soon.
something.
डिमोट हो
मुझे ऐड
जाएगी ब्रो,
करने
डिमोट हो जाएगी जैसे वो लीग फुटबॉल लीग्स में होता है ना, लाइक द लास्ट टू टीम्स गेट डिमोटेड और समथिंग। बोला ये बहुत खराब है इनको
उसके बाद
फार्मूला 2
में
में।
they won't have a place in the constructors anymore.
वो लाइक इनको
But
कंस्ट्रक्टर बोले क्या क्या करे इनका। इफ आई
no, but to
डिस्कसिंग।
be very honest,
या
building the car around Lando, I don't think that was a good decision. And secondly, the McLaren has some sort of a braking issue which they have baked in the car since 2019. Because if you notice, since 2019 they had been on an upward trajectory since 2019, 2020, 2021, and they just fell down a cliff from 2022 onwards. And Lando may be quick. He is a very quick driver. He is a very talented driver, but he has the only reference of a Formula One car through McLaren, because he has driven the McLaren cars throughout his Formula One career. And letting go of a driver as versatile as Daniel Ricciardo, in my opinion, it was a very, I must say, it was a very rookie move to just cast him aside, and just hold the media publicity against him, and just making him feel that he was the problem, not McLaren. Although they have owned up, they have spoken about the problem, that they were wrong about Daniel leaving, they were wrong about their car designs. They have tried to
अब दे
rectify that.
ओके, डिडंट नो दैट।
Yes, yes. If you read last year's interviews, like when Daniel was announced that he will be leaving,
ओके,
the McLaren were very clear in their statement that it is nothing against Daniel. It is
हाँ ऑफ
nothing
कोर्स दैट्स
against
द थिंग।
his driving abilities. And we accept that the car issues which he had been facing, we have not been able to eradicate it. But at the same time, he has also been not able to adapt and
परफॉर्म या
drive the
अडैप्ट या
car to the maximum, which every team wants a Formula One driver to do. But holding that reference point against Norris was a very, I must say, childish move, because Norris has driven only McLaren cars. He has driven only McLaren cars. He
गुड
knows the
पॉइंट।
aerodynamics of the McLaren. And Daniel has driven a whole fleet of Adrian Newey cars since 2014. Till 2014, till 2018, he was in a Red Bull. Then he went to Renault. He made that Renault from a midfield car to a podium sitter, multiple podium sitter during 2020, and that is a very big feat, I must say. Because other than him, only Fernando Alonso has been able to do it. Esteban Ocon got that podium back in Bahrain during that Sakhir GP in the
It was
shorter
a
layout.
win. It was a win, right?
No, Alpine had a win in Hungary.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was also in some. That was also a very incident-filled race. Sakhi
हाँ भाई
2020 was
exactly.
also a very incident-filled race, and Ocon just found himself lucky. But Ricardo was on merit in 2020 in
Do you
Imola
remember
and Nürburgring.
Ocon being this near to a podium? I think last season or last season in Jeddah only. He was like overtaken on
Yes,
the
yes,
very last
he
corner.
was beaten by Valtteri Bottas in 2021. He
That was
was
a very
Oh,
beaten to the
exciting
line.
race.
He was beaten to the line by Valtteri Bottas in 2021. He had a drag race with Valtteri till the finish line.
but
So,
guys, here's the
so,
thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go on, go on.
so just last point that McLaren just wanting to be around Norris will not help them. And I must say that wind tunnel must come quickly because McLaren are betting their life savings upon that wind tunnel and the CFD and the new equipments. And I hope that they work because if they don't, they are in deep shit.
Oh,
Just
they're
blur that
already
out.
in deep shit. But पता है ऐसा I think this a lot of now McLaren fans, a lot of Papaya fans would now agree after seeing this season status कि लास्ट ईयर तक हम सबको बहुत बुरा लग रहा था रिकार्डो के लिए. इट्स लाइक कि या आई गेट इट कि ही इज़ नॉट बीन एबल टू अडाप्ट टू द कार, इट्स नॉट वर्किंग आउट बिटवीन देम, एवरीबडी नोज इज़ अ गुड ड्राइवर, इट्स जस्ट देयर इज नो प्लेस फॉर हिम टू गो एट दिस मोमेंट, राइट? And now it just seems like such a genius move because he him moving to Red Bull gives him a shot at the second seat now again.
Exactly.
Kyuki if you don't understand, we know कि this Checo versus Verstappen is going to go down to the wire, right? And it's his last season signed on right now, by the way. नहीं last है या एक और season बचा है,
Like
right?
2024 is his last.
Yeah, so what do you want? Do you want to have a shot at podiums and wins with Red Bull? Maybe later, like 2 years later. Is it an investment? Yes. Do you want to still stay in McLaren and develop a car which is not gonna be developed around you anyways? That just now seems like like a great move. पहले ऐसा लग रहा था it was a move of desperation going back to Red Bull, but now it seems like man that guy's decisions were smart. It's
Look,
See,
just
Daniel knows
uh,
Red Bull. He knows
uh,
Red Bull. He has driven Adrian Newey cars, and that team knows him. That team knows the talent because Christian Horner has been very, very vocal about Daniel's struggles. He was continuously on the media saying that this is not the driver we had in Red Bull. So this Checo versus Verstappen might be a might be a very good time for him to be in Red Bull because they know that they have a very capable driver in their hands right now, and a one who can work with Verstappen, and he knows how to work with Verstappen.
I completely disagree.
Eh?
I
Let's not
me
forget
too,
what
me too.
happened in Azerbaijan. What happened? They both crashed badly. They have crashed multiple times. Completely disagree, but I want to come back to Jeddah. What happened in the race? The last four places were fighting between Alpha Tauri and McLaren.
Hmm.
So it's kind of very bad to see Alpha Tauri going back again. They had so much of things, Yuki Tsunoda, he's a quick driver. They bought Nick DeVries from Mercedes, was a quick driver, and all this kind of thing. McLaren also, but we are not seeing that progress what they had been capable. Uh, Alpha Tauri was, I think, riding on the back of Gasly. In Bahrain GP, Gasly started from P20, finished P9, mega drive again, something in Alpine. Okay. Secondly, here also he was there in the points. So he's consistently scoring points for Alpine as well. Okay. That Alpine may not be the race winning car at this point of time, but they are definitely doing good. Much better than AlphaTauri. we are definitely seeing good talent in Gasly forming up. Remember, it's his first season with the team. He does not know the car much better. He will know it maybe next season much better when he will be right from there from the development time. So fingers crossing at that point of time. We all know that there might be a little bit of cross between Ocon and Gasly in the Alpine, but all things said, they are putting it up heavenly good. Haas coming into the points in this season finally, but the the core expectation for McLaren and AlphaTauri are definitely going backwards. Clearly visible on the two fast street circuits. Next will come is Australia. A little bit more technical ground, with lot more curves, limited DRS zones, not limited three, but still limited in terms of straight line speed. Not that much very effective. More gear shifting, more braking points, more
But the
technical
circuit has
aspect
gone
coming
much
into the
faster.
picture. Sorry.
The circuit has gone much faster with the removal of the corners.
Yeah, but it is not as fast as Jeddah, or it might not be as
Yes,
fast as
exactly.
Bahrain. Correct.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you need to have
Correct.
that
So
that pedal control is really important in Australia.
exactly,
Uh,
exactly. So more technical things coming up, right?
yep.
We are seeing that McLaren is not good or Alpha Tower is not good, but remember the first two races are very heavily dependent on full throttle circuits, right?
Hmm.
Now we are stepping into the circuits which are less throttle effective, less speed effective, less straight line speeds compared to Jeddah and Bahrain. So I'm hoping that the cars will more come into the life. We'll see more different approaches into the sections, more things. We will see how Mercedes will go. We'll see how Ferrari will go. The this might not be the exact reflection of the car. And remember, we are just in the second race. There is a huge
Exactly.
section coming up. There will be more development time. There will be more development of the engine. There will be more penalties. There will be more things that will come across kind of coming into the season. It's a long season. I've been telling this repeatedly. But Red Bull definitely are head and shoulders above. We have seen that in Jeddah. We've seen that in Bahrain. But let's hope that the things go better for the other teams as well, coming into Australia, Melbourne in a couple of weeks' time. And my I can only wish better for McLaren, Alpha Tauri, and some of the other teams to crawl back themselves, get their heads up high, and start working on it and deliver it good.
Yeah, I mean, bro, one thing that I absolutely loved about Jeddah, although it wasn't covered a lot, was the battle between the Haas. Like that, oh, I something. Let's say ki they have Magnussen and Hülkenberg, right? Two drivers who, when Haas was good and Renault was scoring, these were the two teams battling it out, and we have seen them like go wheel to wheel so many times. And now being in the same team, respecting the space and racing clean, it just it shows the maturity of having a development driver versus a developed driver, right? Now I know they are nowhere having a good car, but like still, it's just that was good racing, and I I am kind of fan of that scrappy war kind of racing. लेकिन ये देख के अलग सूदिंग आता है, like ये ASMR है basically F1 fans के लिए, like the clean racing thing, right? So it's just that was one thing that I found really cool. Also Logan Sargent, man, I know he wasn't that good last race, लेकिन उसने start भी P20 से किया था and he still made some ground up. I definitely think he's a good driver. And yeah, he can actually compete if he's given a good car. I know कि it's been a long time since Americans have seen driver of their nationality, लेकिन man, that guy is good. By the way, talking about Logan Sargent, the Formula 2 say he's come up, right? And if you've seen Formula 2 this weekend, that was something else. That was a beast of its own. What are your thoughts about it? Let's go. Mujab,
I actually don't
let's
have a
yeah.
F1 team subscription, so I won't
क्या
comment on F2 right now.
कम ऑन ब्रो कैसे देख रहे हैं F1?
Like once you get on with F2,
Yeah,
like एक बार F2, like when you say you're right in my playground, like
yeah.
मैं बहुत बड़ा देश का अंधभक्त हूँ,
इसलिए मैंने तेरा नाम लिया
कोई
सीधा,
भी
बोला कि
कर
भाई इसको बोलने देते अब.
लाइक हमारे कंट्री का कोई भी रेसर किसी भी जगह करेगा, आई विल फाइंड लाइक मैं लाइक आई विल गो एंड सर्च फॉर द लाइक सेंट किट्स एंड नेविस Formula 3 चैलेंज इफ वहाँ पे कोई इंडियन रेसर गाड़ी चला रहा है, मैं
वाह,
कहीं से
ओके।
स्ट्रीम ढूंढ लूंगा और देखूंगा. बट नाउ द थिंग इज
ए एक
आई
सेकंड, एक
नीड
सेकंड,
टू
ये सब नहीं बोल
आई
सकते,
विल
ये कट कट प्लीज। कहीं से भी स्ट्रीम देख लो, ये सब मत बोला कर प्लीज भाई। नहीं, आई एम किडिंग। लेट्स जस्ट गो, लेट्स आई एम किडिंग, आई एम किडिंग। ये रहेगा, ये रहेगा।
so basically आई एम गोइंग टू से दिस लाइव ओवर हियर सबके सामने. मैंने ये पहले तक किसी को नहीं बोला क्योंकि मेरे को कोई मिला नहीं है Formula 2 जो देखता है. सो आई वांट टू फॉर्मली अपोलोजाइज टू जेहान दारूवाला. आई हैड रिटन हिम ऑफ वे टू सून, एंड वो हमारा भगवान है, वो हमारे जेहान भाव है, एंड ही कैन डू नथिंग रॉन्ग इन लाइफ. ही हैज रिडीम्ड हिमसेल्फ फ्रॉम Bahrain.
या
Like the consistency with which that man drives. मैं एक दिन मेरे को स्ट्रीम नहीं मिला तो मैं Formula 2 के वेबसाइट पे जाके ना बस टाइम्स देख रहा था लाइव. And his lap times, like he did five, like he did 15 laps and changed the tire like from soft even to mediums. And the times maximum to minimum जो time difference हुआ है was a gap of 0.1 second. That's it. And वो continuously बस चले जा रहे. He's just putting in those laps one after the other. I know his uh, like qualifying is not that good, but that's because Formula 2 का अलग ही qualifying का होता है. But
yep.
I'm not defending him here. His qualifying is beyond par. Is not beyond par. He can do much better than what he's doing. But his race pace, I think, is one of the top race pace. Like I saw him overtake. I think either Clement Novalak या Amory Cordin किसी एक को तो overtake किया. And he just overtook them for third place. And पीछे Theo Porcher आया and he just crashed into Zane Maloney, I think. And that was like, I'm like, हाँ ध्यान ने बिल्कुल सही टाइम मूव किया, नहीं तो येलो फ्लैग आ जाता and his move would have been incomplete.
Full, yep.
And Kushmaini, he had a really good battle with Kushmaini. I just wish Kushmaini can get to the
Oh,
podium
by the
soon
way,
enough.
मैंने उसका like I saw the reel. I didn't see the race, but I saw the reel with the two Indian drivers battling it out. And bro, goosebumps, bro. It's just it's been so long since we've seen Indian drivers, actually good Indian drivers in motorsport. Yes, I am looking at you, Mahavir.
Raghu.
Like the
Anyways,
last Indian driver who I think had some like level of good racing. Like I think even before Arjun Maini वगैरह, I think हमारे Formula 1 drivers ही थे who could like somewhat pull a car around and like अगर उनको अच्छा कार दिया जाता they could score points. I think were Karun Chandok and Naren Karthikeyan. उसके बाद
yeah,
से I
yeah,
don't think
like,
we've had any good drivers
oh,
till now.
absolutely, bro. There have been. See, it's just like we said, India is a developing country. It's the problem we have is money, of course. ऐसा ऐसा भी नहीं बोल रहा कि we don't have money. We have it. We just don't know how to use it, or it just gets eaten up in corruption. That's a different story. Lekin it's just the sport needs a lot of money. Even if you're good, talent can take you only so far, as we've seen a lot with all lot of Formula 2 drivers, Formula 1 drivers. If you can't bring in money, you can't stay in the sport unless you're like a phenomenal once in a generation kind of talent like Hamilton or Verstappen. Well, Verstappen still had money. You can't just go in there. It's tough. So seeing Indian drivers up there, it just makes you happy, regardless if you are a Formula 2 fan or not. It just seeing them up there, it just makes you feel कि हाँ यार है अपना representation है sport में. Even before this DTS and stuff made Formula 1 and racing and motorsport basically famous here, हमारे पास थे लोग जो actual में they were dedicated into it. That just makes me happy. Anyways, coming back to Jeddah, closing points for me would be loved the race, had absolute fun. I know the top battle was not the best, lekin I still had fun with the controversies and things with Red Bull happening, and the Aston Martin Mercedes battle was nice. Although it wasn't a car to car battle, it was more like the timing battle, but I still enjoyed that. Like end तक जो है, I was clenching my asshole कि ये 5 सेकंड का gap pull हो जाए. And yeah, that was just fun. That was all I need to say. Norris and McLaren need to gain a lot of ground. That's the third thing. And yeah, that was a pretty fun race. I enjoyed it. What do you think? What do you all think?
I I think कि first of all, Red Bull were anyway anyway they were expected to carry that at least 5 tenths of a second advantage into this season, and it will be very much evident in these first few races,
Hmm.
as because the teams are yet to develop their cars and the development packages are yet to come. And secondly, the race behind Red Bull was pretty much interesting to watch, because the Verstappen coming through the field, Leclerc coming through the field, Hamilton struggling on the hards, then switching over to the mediums. It was a fun race to watch, and I'm sad that we didn't get to see Fernando's commentary podcast during the race like we saw in Bahrain. And as a matter of fact, my qualifying predictions actually came true. Like, I was saying that Perez will be on pole, and he ended up on pole, if
Oh
you guys
yes.
remember.
Also, you said he's the king of street circuits, and
Yes,
अभी तक
yes.
उसने he's not shown no fault. So I
No
guess you win, man.
faults.
I guess you win. Congratulations. So
We are
what do you
bagged.
think? What do you think, SJ? क्या क्या सीन है? क्या लग रहा है आगे क्या होने वाला है?
No, no, I actually think that Cristiano got it right about Checo. We all missed that particular point that Checo has been ruling the street circuits for quite a bit some time now. Okay, his drives, he is a wonderful driver. Red Bull are head and shoulders above every other team right now, to be
Mhm.
honest. Okay, the only team closest that have come up to them is Aston Martin, but that also with a certain gap. Okay, Mercedes, Ferrari need to pull the socks up. Alpine, good midfield battling going on. Haas, Alpha Tauri, McLaren, they all need to pick up their game. We'll see how the development packages coming up will help, because, as Krishan rightly pointed out, there has been only 3 to 4 weeks since the testing has completed. So teams were are literally on what they tested right now. I don't think so any team have developed anything between testing and these two races.
Not yet, I
There
guess.
might
Yeah.
have some, yeah, there might have some, but not that good of a development that might have come through. Okay, so let's hope for the future races, the teams pulling up much more better racing. We get to get more close racing. There should be somebody challenging the Red Bull. I would like to see that. It's not that I'm against Red Bull or something like that, but I just want some good close racing. I just don't want that. Oh, these are the best of the rest. I would not like to have that term going on, especially now. I just don't like that dominance era continuing. That 2010s there was Red Bull, then there was Mercedes, now again there is Red Bull. This rule change have been come up only because of this to stop the dominance of one team and one particular driver. If that is what is going carried on, then I think Formula One has lost it again. They need to change the rule book again. This is what my take is from Jeddah.
Well, one good thing is कि the regulation periods have shortened. पहले जो है 8 साल का जो regulation period होता, now it's just 4 years, 2022 to 2026, which is good. Like if even if one team is dominating, like they have to quickly adapt in order to continue that domination. And we've seen कि it's not easy to dominate in Formula One as it is. So
Exactly.
let's see what happens with that. What are your thoughts, Sujan, and your closing statements about Jeddah?
Just one thing I'm going to say is why Perez is suddenly coming back again is because I'm sorry for what I'm saying, but the first 2 years in Red Bull, Perez had to kind of bend over a bit for Max at times because Perez was like मैं अभी अपना psychology student वाला analysis दे रहा हूँ कि Perez was very like in depth to Red Bull for
Yeah, just
saving his
thankful,
career.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, because Perez को like Daddy Stroll ने लात मार के निकाल दिया and he's like अब तो कुछ तो चाहिए and then he got an offer from the biggest team on the grid who next year became the biggest team on the grid.
Yeah.
Like very next season went on to win, gave him his first win without any luck, like win on merit, first win on merit, gave him his first win like that. And like I'm gonna say that what now he has his thinking is that अभी Daniel आ चुका है and
Hmm.
I am this close to lose my seat at any given point of time. Next race बोल देंगे Daniel को अपना helmet और suit पकड़ाओ और side में बैठ जाओ. He thinks that's very much possible. He's like, if I'm going down winning. So I think at this point of time, Perez is trying to redeem himself to the public as much as possible. He's trying to win. His father is, as usual, very wholesome and all. Josh Verstappen is a dickhead, to speak
Oh
exactly.
yeah, that was so sad
Yeah,
to see,
man, that.
man. That was so sad to see, right? Like
Yeah,
But
him just standing there.
actually,
The whole team is celebrating, and him just standing there like a doll. That was just very sad to see. When you saw that guy, like was P3 or P4, Mexico man, Daddy Perez was just so happy just to be there. That's the kind of wholesomeness we need. And Jos Verstappen, and there was a meme जो मैंने देखा, shut up bro you. So basically Jos Verstappen was standing, and there was someone who commented कि shut the fuck up bro, you तू जब था गाड़ी में तब तूने तो आग ही लगा दी थी, तो रहने दे. That was just very
like,
funny to see.
like I know he's his father and it's different from being a Formula One driver, but Josh Verstappen honestly अपने F1 career में ज़्यादा उखाड़ा क्या है? Like he got there, like obviously he got there. That is big enough.
Hmm.
That is something we can't even dream of ever doing in our lives. But like वो arrows के साथ चलाता था I think, and he was shit. Like the team was shit, hence making him shit. But like now that his son is doing great, like, and let's be honest, Verstappen is going to win this season as well. So
Hmm.
like उसको इतना problem क्या है? If his son's like teammate gets a few races in here and there, just bro, calm down. You can't expect
Be
your son
happy
to
for
win
your
20.
team at least. Yeah.
Like you
exactly.
can't expect him to win 23 out of 23 races. उसके बेटे के लिए दो तीन और एक्स्ट्रा रेस लगवा देंगे सिर्फ अकेले चलता रहेगा.
I want to add to Jan's point right now here. First of all, when Perez won the Baku race in 2021, actually, on merit, he was there to pick up the pieces when Max's tire blew out and he had that spectacular puncture. But that win also came because of an incident. So it wasn't on merit. His first win on merit, I must say, might be in, I guess, so Singapore 2022, I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm talking about
Because,
Singapore. Yeah,
yeah, because each and every time he's winning the races, it's because something happened to Max. So the races which he won on merit, Singapore is one of them.
I
And
think Monaco.
Monaco was there, but it has its asterisks because of the Verstappen camp.
Yeah,
And the second thing I want to tell is that the was Jos Verstappen having that grumpy face and the whole team celebrating. There was a camera showing Jos Verstappen's back and Sergio Perez congratulating each and every one on the team, and Jos Verstappen also congratulated him. So as much as I don't like that guy very much, but there are some things that media which doesn't show us that we have to get behind the scenes footage and we have to. SJ was there. He might have seen the podium celebration and all. He might be able to tell us firsthand how it was. But मतलब देख जहां तक मैंने देखा है it was like कि he congratulated him, but it's just like that the Verstappens are ultra competitive. Like for an useless amount of time they're ultra competitive ki
Hmm.
I want my son to win, I want my son to do this. Bro, your son is a two-time fucking world champion. Just accept that thing. He's going to win a third world championship on a row. Although सिर्फ टू रेसेस के बाद दिस ये बोलना इट माइट बी अ बिट ऑफ अ स्ट्रेच बट yes the odds are obviously with him to win the championship and I hope all the teams come up with some development thing and we all know Mercedes बोलूंगा मैं we all know that Mercedes can develop the car very well so I am hoping that they can get back to the fight and Ferrari भी वापस आनी चाहिए SJ to refer to SJ because
Williams.
Mercedes,
मैं
Ferrari,
भी
Red
अपना
Bull,
लगा रहा हूँ. Williams.
Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, these three are a classic to watch.
Yeah.
These three teams are a classic trio to watch fighting. So I just
Yep.
want them to come back. And Aston, like keep up the development game and you're spot on the front row of the grid. That's my closing statement.
Yep. All right. Is that it? Is that everything Everyone had to say
One
all at
last
once.
prediction. One
Yeah,
last
yeah.
prediction.
Go on, go on,
Jehan
go on.
Darwala is going to win a race next season.
Let's go. Mera bhi same. I hope that happens. I hope that
Jehan win
happens.
and Kushmaini podium.
Kush Mani, yaar,
More
not as
more
big a
than
fan,
no,
but
more than Jahan,
Jihan.
I want more than Jahan, I want Kush to win.
Oh,
Kush,
ऐसा
why?
क्या?
Because Jahan is already in his last season of F2, I
Jehan,
think.
I
Okay.
think, has blown a
Okay.
chance for Formula
After
One. Kush still has one.
exactly. Yes. So I would more
हाँ,
focus
by
on
that
Kush
logic,
right
let's go.
now, to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
very honest.
All right.
Yes. So if Jihan even tries to mix it to F1, he might be, like a test driver or reserve driver who can do laps consistently to, get that thing. But honestly, I don't think so. He would be taken up as a first choice of driver directly to race compete. I hope you do, Jihan. My love always with you. But still, to be very honest, I don't see that coming. I'll be very happy if you prove me wrong. I'm a good fan of racing. Yours too. Okay. But
Bro,
I think
मैं कह
Kush
रहा
is a
हूँ,
very good
whenever,
driver.
हाँ, yeah, yeah. I'm just saying कि if
But
we
Kush is a
ever
very good,
manage
good
to,
driver. Yeah.
yeah, if we ever manage to get one of them here, I would be very happy to host them, by the way. But फिर मैं ये सब clips चलाऊंगा. हमने क्या क्या बोला है उनके बारे में.
No, no, no. With
Uh,
with 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 all due respect,
yeah,
getting so far in F2, making 3 seasons is not an easy job.
yeah,
Chihan has done it consistently. He has been there on podium. He has, I think, won a race as well. I'm
mm,
not taking anything from him, but you need that killer instinct. You need that final bite. You need that extra millimeter to go across that line. That's what
Exactly.
makes you excellent driver, the great driver. That is what
Correct.
Michael Schumacher was. That is what Lewis Hamilton is. That is what Max Verstappen is. That is what Fernando Alonso is. Okay, that is why they are winning championships. Okay, we have seen Leclerc doing it in F2 from P4 to win the race in F2 car on Bahrain. Yes, you have to do that. I don't see that from Jan coming in. He needs to get that killer instinct in. Kush, I see that killer instinct in Kush at this point of time. I don't know about the future, but right now, if I have to bet between Jahan and Kush, I would bet on Kush.
All right, so that was bro. इस वाले पार्ट में हमने इतना बोल दिया ना, like I feel like हमने नेक्स्ट पार्ट के लिए कुछ छोड़ा ही नहीं है, बट मैन it's been a great conversation honestly. And before ending, I would like to say कि if SJ doesn't mind, if there's a lot of people who would want to see the trackside views, then if he would send me all the videos, मैं एक compilation बना के डाल सकता हूँ. If he
You
if he
can.
doesn't mind, so yeah, so cool.
Sure,
If you
sure.
want to see that, if you want to see the trackside, of course leave a like, subscribe the channel, जो मैं हर बार बोलता हूँ. And I know a lot of people who want to join us for the podcast. It's just bro, 1 बजने आया है. तो इट्स
हाँ.
हम लोग बहुत ही स्पॉन्टेनियसली करते हैं ये. इट्स नॉट लाइक आई डोंट वांट एनीवन एल्स. इट्स जस्ट कि हम लोग एक दूसरे का जेल हो जाते हैं एंड टाइम पे तो क्या आ रहे हैं, लेकिन ठीक है, हो जाता है हमारा काम. Anyways, let's see what happens in Australia and the further races, and yeah,
My
we'll be back.
my promise to all the team members who wants to join us for a podcast, मिलेगा. सबको मिलेगा. बराबर मौका मिलेगा.
All right, yeah. So we'll see
Just
you guys
just
next
hold
time.
on with us.
Yeah, cool. We'll see you guys next time. And I know this has been a long episode, but हम लोग के दिमाग में जितना भी था हमने सब बोल दिया. Legit हमने कुछ we didn't hold back anything.
बोलने को
And
बहुत
yeah,
कुछ था.
hopefully, yeah, बोलने को ही बहुत कुछ था. तो hopefully this will continue, and these controversial opinions from us will just entertain you. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, see ya.
भाई इस बार मैं ज्यादा बात नहीं करूंगा.
नहीं, इस बार बोलो
नहीं तो
कोई प्रॉब्लम
नहीं
नहीं.
तो ऐसे स्क्रीन फाड़ के आ जाएगा मेरे पास. अबे
बोला
चुप
इधर
हो
आ
क्या बोलना.
साले,
अरे
मर्सिडीज.
चुप. वैसे ही हो जाएगा सीधा. और
बहुत
वैसे
फनी
भी
है.
एसजे भी
नहीं, I
पूरा
mean,
दाढ़ी वाड़ी काट के एकदम ऐसे इंटेंस लुक में दिख रहा है.
अरे हाँ रे, फुल एकदम फुल ग्रूम्ड. उजन
ये
भी
तो एकदम
ऐसा फुल तैयार हो गया है.
शरीफ बच्चा लग रहा है उजान.
हम लोग का प्रोडक्शन क्वालिटी का क्या होता है, गए माँ चुदा रहे. एनीवेज, क्या कृषानु कितनी देर में पहुंच रहे?
बस 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 गेट के पास में हूँ. पहुंच जाऊंगा मैं.
ठीक है चलो
दौड़ ना,
बढ़िया.
जल्दी दौड़ ना.
अरे लो रे बाबा, दौड़ रहा हूँ लो. और कुछ चाहिए तुमको?
बस सही है. पहुंच ही गए रे।
पहुंच गया गेट पे।
बढ़िया
बैठ जा
बढ़िया।
गेट के पास ही बैठ जा।